You can bet your bottom dollar. Great programming coming up next on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Stand by. Hold on. Talk at its finest, coming up next on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. In about 2 minutes, stand by. We know what guys are talking about. Stand by. A great show coming up next on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. In about 30 seconds. Stand by. Don't go away. Stop. If they're talking about it at the barbershop, we're talking about it here on SME. Great show coming up in about 30 seconds. Don't go away. Stand by. It's time. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Another great product on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yeah!
It should go just like we talk normally. Right. That's the idea. We ain't trying to, pretend like, we ain't trying to, because we can curse. We can do the, you know what I'm saying? We can say the hell we want. It ain't easy trying to raise a man. You always was committed. A poor single mother on welfare. Tell me how you did it. There's no way I can pay you back. But the plan is to show you that I understand. You all appreciate it.
Good afternoon, y'all. You're listening to the Barbershop Sports Talk podcast. It's Maestro Styles. I'm Trey Fraser. Don't forget to hit us up on our social media outlets. Hit us up through email at barbershopsportstalk1@gmail.com. We also have the Barbershop Sports Talk podcast Facebook page, as well as the Instagram page at Barbershop Sports Talk podcast. And also we have Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. What you just heard is one of the greatest rappers of all time, Tupac, Dear Mama. And as we're kind of recording today, we got the news earlier that Afeni Shakur passed away at the age of 69 today. Thankful that she birthed one of the greatest hip-hop artists to ever bless the mic, Maestro.
Rest in peace for certain. Like you said, she definitely birthed Pac. In some would I guess say in her own image, for what I'm saying, like she was, she had her run-ins with the law, sure. Ex-Black Panther, or at least I know her Pac's father was a Black Panther. And
she was involved in the Black Panther movement also. Right.
So like to say that she kind of brought him up in that same kind of living lifestyle or whatever, and and it showed in his music. So shouts out, rest in peace. And it was sad, it's a Mother's Day. You know, by the time we get around, it'll be coming up. Mother's Day will be coming up. So
yeah, I thought this was very fitting to play this song because Mother's Day weekend's coming up, and we probably would have played it whether or not, you know. Yeah, pretty much.
Afeni Shakur passed. So so rest in peace to Afeni Shakur, man.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
And other, you know, I know it's been going wild. Space Jam 2 has been confirmed.
Yeah, I saw that. LeBron James is
going to be the new guy, the new basketball player that takes, you know, I guess. It bothers me. I guess if you had to put somebody there, I guess you had to put LeBron James there.
Like, here's my question. Like, when Kobe was popping in the mid-2000s, early 2000s, why couldn't they do this when Kobe was popping?
You think that would have? I think that would have made more sense too. I mean, again, Kobe Bryant is the best imitation of Jordan we've had.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So it's like it seems right, you know, if you're going to do a Space Jam, to do it with more so with Kobe than with LeBron. I mean, anybody that's listened to me in the past, you know, months or ever heard me say something about LeBron James, I'm not slighting his skills. Please don't take this as I'm slighting his skills, but he's like Scottie Pippen 2.0. He's not the guy on a consistent enough basis that's going to take over a game or you know, at least not in the vein of the way Michael Jordan did, where Michael Jordan probably averaged like around 5 assists and 5 rebounds. LeBron is getting like 10 rebounds, or you know, more like he's more of a utility player than a guy that's going to, you know, take the game.
And Michael Jordan was an assassin on the court, and Kobe was the closest thing.
That's more so what I'm talking about.
Being an assassin on the court.
Yeah.
So I would like to think, man, if they'd have had this idea years ago, because you figure the original Space Jam came out 1996. Mm. Kobe popped off 2000, 2001.
By 2006, he was that dude.
That could have, that would have been as close enough to, you know, put the sequel out. But you're waiting, 20 years?
Well, that doesn't necessarily bother me. I wouldn't even be against a Space Jam movie being done every time a big, you know, somebody, that you could try and draw comparisons to Jordan. I wouldn't be mad if you came out with a Space Jam every time that happened. But, you know, I don't know if I agree with LeBron, but I guess if it had to be somebody just based on how big he is, I mean,
and being that it's now and they finally
Steph Curry ain't been that man for long enough to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
So
LeBron. Sure.
Interesting question came up. Who would you put with, you know, like they had Sean Bradley, Muggsy Bogues,
Larry Johnson, Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley.
Right. Who would you put in your Monster lineup?
Oh wow, that's a good question. The names off the top of my head right now: Klay Thompson, Russell Westbrook. I would throw Durant in there.
I agree with those two.
I would put Anthony Davis there, and one more. I guess you got to get a tier 2 guy. I guess Paul George.
See, when I think about the Monstars, and I guess really only Monstar the only one that really sticks in my head is Larry Johnson, and he's more like, when you think about Larry Johnson, you think about nasty
and his style of play.
Right. Yep. But I guess when I really think about who the lineup last time around, Muggsy Bogues, I mean, he was a gritty player. Larry Johnson was a gritty player. Yep. Sean Bradley's not so much.
Patrick Ewing
had his days.
He had his moments, but his team was more gritty.
Right. You think about Ewing. Ewing was probably one of the nicer Knicks on that team.
One, because Oakley was the gritty guy, and Mason was the gritty guy. Yeah.
So if I had to put together a Monster team, and we are doing this on the fly, by the way, definitely Russell Westbrook.
Right.
It's not too many nasty players no more, man. When I really think about it, it's not too many nasty, like just straight up. But definitely Russell Westbrook.
Would you put Zach Randolph in there?
Nah, he too old.
Well,
he too old.
34. How old was Larry Johnson?
I don't know, but Larry Johnson was Larry Johnson at his point of his career when Space Jam came out.
Yeah, the 4-point play didn't happen yet.
Zach Randolph wasn't there.
Sure.
Zach Randolph ain't there right now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? By the time this movie come out, we're not so sure that Zach Randolph will even be playing.
Sure.
Just based on age, and But said Russell Westbrook, Boogie Cousins.
That's a good one.
Boogie Cousins.
That's a good one.
And again, we really are doing this off the fly. I'm running through.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah.
Good. Trying to think.
Dwight Howard only because he's a jumper.
He would be the Ewing of the group.
He's a jumper.
Now, was Barkley considered a gritty player around that time?
I think so. And
with the Suns?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I give him that.
Okay.
I give him that.
Well, yeah, I mean, he played power forward, so yeah, he had to do all the dirty work.
A point guard for the Monstars.
A gritty point guard.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be Westbrook. It wouldn't be Westbrook because, in my mind, I would see him running the two.
Yep.
Shit, I gotta go Chris Paul.
Chris Paul plays with some grit.
No, I mean, but he's still like the goody two shoes that I didn't really want to add to this list.
Right.
But I mean, I guess I would add Chris
Rondo?
Paul. Nah, Rondo past his prime. It got to be players like when you think about the guys who were there.
Rondo's not old though,
but he's past his prime though. He playing with the Sacramento Kings for God's sake.
That don't mean he passed his prime though.
That
just means he would a bad team.
Yeah, but how did he get with a bad team? It's not like it was a situation where they brought him in in an attempt to save the team or save the franchise. They put him there.
One, he was a free agent. Two, he quit on the Dallas Mavericks.
That's my point. You can't. He's not in his prime no more. You can't be.
Yeah, but that don't mean he couldn't play. Well, it's just he didn't fit in Dallas.
But I'm thinking when you leave. First of all, he left the Celtics on not a good note. Not meaning as far as not getting along with team, but
in that trade,
he was in a decline playing because of the injuries. He goes to Dallas, that don't go well for whatever reason, and play still wasn't good there. He goes to Sacramento, and now he's playing better.
It's better, yes.
But at this point, he's irrelevant. He's been not producing on a high level.
So we're talking relevant.
It's got to be.
Players.
He's got to be relevant. He's got to be relevant.
And that's the issue. Are there any relevant players that got the grit right now? And there's only a couple, maybe 3 guys.
Yeah, probably not. That's why I got to kind of stick with Chris Paul. So one more.
So what was your 5? Russell Westbrook, Boogie Cousins, CP3.
CP3. Oh shit! So I got to name 2. This is going way longer than I wanted it to go. Fuck.
There's no, like I said, it just seemed like there's no.
Boogie Cousins.
I mean, and the ones I named off.
Hold on. Boogie Cousins, CP3,
Russell Westbrook,
Dwight Howard. I did say Dwight Howard.
That's right. You did say Dwight.
For jumping ability. It's a lot you could do with as far as animation wise with that.
Right.
And I wanted to go for a point guard. No, I said CP3.
You said CP3.
So I want to go with a 3. A 3, right?
A 3.
A 3. Who's a good 3? I mean,
I mentioned Paul George.
I mean,
I
don't like. I mean,
he plays with a little bit of grit, not a little bit.
I think because he should have
not too much.
He should have won Game 7, but we'll get into that.
Right.
Fuck. Shit, I don't know. I'm just gonna say Greek Freak. I'm gonna say Greek Freak because I'm tired of trying to think about
the Greek Freak.
Yeah, just because I'm tired of thinking about it. I mean, he got handles. He got handles. He could jump.
Oh, how about it? Oh, I got the perfect 3 forward for you. Matt Barnes.
Hell no.
Matt Barnes, B.
Hell no.
And how about this for a scene in this movie? Get Derek Fisher, the coach, up in there, yo. That would be theater right there.
Get both of them the fuck out of here.
That would be theater. Though.
So there's that. I heard that the Seahawks, they made it very clear, and this is just a little short news, so we ain't going to get into it too tough. They're not giving out
what's that? The
Marshawn Lynch's number, the Seahawks. So nobody's allowed to wear 24 for the Seahawks next year.
So are they retiring the number?
They didn't say they retired it. They just said they're not going to let nobody wear it.
Sounds like they're going to retire it.
Yeah.
And rightfully so.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, he started the Legion of Boom.
Yeah, and he's easily the best running back the Seahawks have ever had.
Ever.
Yeah, I'm sitting here running.
Ever.
Yeah.
Sean Alexander, he had some good years with them, but the injuries came, and then he just faded with the Redskins that one half a season.
Yeah, I'm going to go Marshawn Lynch is better than Sean Alexander.
Oh, yeah. I agree with you. Even though, didn't he win an MVP in 2005?
Sean Alexander, yeah.
So, like I said, he had a few good seasons, and then the injuries.
Yeah, he got him to the Super Bowl that year.
Yep. Didn't win it, though, unfortunately.
Shout out to Steelers Nation. Dallas Cowboys fans, we got to flag your boy, man.
Yeah, man. I don't know what... I read somewhere
the NFL fined him. That's how bad this shit was.
Oh, they did fine him.
They fined him. That's what I heard.
Oh, wow.
I heard they fined him $25,000.
I wasn't expecting that, but man, you don't wear no stuff like that, man. You wearing a tank top or something.
So the story apparently is that he was known in college for wearing those crop tops. You know, 'cause, when they working out, they known to wear those shirts or whatever.
Right.
So the thinking is I'm known for doing that in practices. I guess around, at college.
Right.
And so now let me do that at the draft.
On draft night.
Yeah.
So that's just that's a no-no. Shout out to Russell Westbrook, and we're going to talk about him later in the show, but I was watching game number 1 of Thunder Spurs the other night, and they do a little pregame stuff. They walk through the tunnel and all that on the way to the locker room. And he had on this. It looked like he was about to go baptize somebody.
It looked like something. I mean, I ain't totally hip with Kanye's clothing line,
right?
But it looked like something that Kanye would have put on his clothing,
similar to what Kanye be wearing. Yeah, man. It looked like he was about to go, spread some holy water on somebody. I'm like, dude, what is that? And then after the game, he puts it right back on during the press conference.
Hey, man. Shout out to Kanye, because my last fashion police judgment. Did you see Kanye at the Met Gala?
I did not.
This nigga put blue contacts in his eyes.
Oh, I saw that picture. Yeah.
Nah, my nigga.
Yeah.
Nah.
I can't remember what Wesley Snipes movie it was, but there was a meme out there where they put him and Kanye side by side with the eyes. You didn't see that one?
Nah, I didn't see that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they trying to... the internet's... It has no chill right now.
But Kanye, cut that shit out, man. Shout out to Birdman. Somebody must have eventually got in his ear and said, "Hey, this moment is a moment to capitalize.
It's a money moment."
He didn't already released the track. I mean, I guess he a little late because Bama's had already dropped tracks with the clip in it.
On it.
Yeah,
put some respect on it.
You talking about the Hammer Tones? Anthony
the Hammer Tones.
Yeah,
yes.
That's them. But then somebody actually dropped a song with the clip.
Was it like a slow song?
It was a trap.
There was
joint.
another one.
It was a trap joint.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a trap joint.
There was a slow song. It was like one of those, in between the sheets songs.
Oh no, I ain't
where
hear
they
that.
had his mug on top of one of these R&B artists.
Nah, I ain't hear that joint.
Yeah.
But he decided, somebody must have gotten his ear and decided, hey, dog, it's going crazy. We can spin this. He has dropped a song. I don't like it.
Right.
But he dropped a song, and then he got the shirts coming out soon with the Rich Game emblems.
There you go. That's how you do it.
And oddly enough, Charlamagne is already on Instagram wearing them.
That's how you do it, man.
Yeah, so shouts out to Birdman for
make
trying
that money. Put some respect on that man.
Trying to
man.
flip that, but
you know what I'm saying?
I likes that.
So this NFL draft, man. Mm-hmm. So a lot of things happened. Obviously, the bigger story was Laramie Tunsil, but we'll get into him a little bit. What do you take out of the draft besides what your team did and besides the Laramie Tunsil thing?
I mean, really, pretty normal draft. Redskins, I hated their first round pick, but they felt like that he was the best available at the time. They wasn't expecting him to be there.
Right.
So they took him. I mean, if I got to be 100% honest with you, man, I didn't really pay attention to no other teams' drafts but the Steelers and the Ravens. I think Pittsburgh did well. I mean, we addressed the issues. and I'm cool with that. I mean, obviously, it's a matter of how all this shit is going to pan out, but
sure.
They went in and they addressed the issues.
So you like the Artie Burns pick?
I love the Artie Burns pick. I like the Sean Davis pick. I like the defensive tackle we picked up in the second round as well. I like that pick.
Right.
I even like the pick later on where we got the receiver who was deemed as the best kick returner, punt returner in the draft. Ayers, right.
Mm-hmm.
I even like that, man. Like I said, I feel we went and got another offensive tackle. We really took time, got another linebacker. We took time and addressed every weakness.
Y'all went defense heavy,
which we should. Yeah, why the hell shouldn't we?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I like what we did, man. I'm not gonna pretend like I know how good these guys were in college and things like that.
Right.
I was vaguely familiar with Sean Davis.
We didn't watch too many of these guys.
I don't really watch college football, to be honest with you. But I'm vaguely familiar with Sean Davis, and I looked up Artie Burns. Just looked up his highlight tapes and whatever.
Right.
And what people had to say about him, and I'm a believer. They don't believe that he's going to be a bona fide starter this year.
Right.
Sean Davis looks like he might have an opportunity.
Take a little bit of time. I want to just kind of focus on two teams here that I thought was interesting. One of the teams in our division, by the way, the Cleveland Browns, they picked Corey Coleman with their first draft selection, wide receiver out of Baylor.
Yeah.
Then you go down the list, and they drafted 4 more wide receivers. So I'm looking at this like, okay, RG3, you got some weapons.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. No, I take that back. I wouldn't go. You said they drafted 4 wide receivers?
They drafted 4 more.
I don't know,
4 more. So
right.
they drafted a total of 5 wide receivers in this draft.
Wow. Yeah, see.
They went wide receiver heavy.
Who's their running back? As of right now,
As of right now?
Probably Duke Johnson.
I think Duke Johnson's their running back right now.
I get it, kind of. I mean, because I think, I'm just guessing. I guess what they're thinking is that their defense, if their offense could give them something,
right?
Their defense isn't that bad.
Joe Hayden's still there.
Still there. I mean, the Mingo, they got guys, that they can kind of, they can get something going.
Right. I
think they realized that they had Dwayne Bowe as a receiver last year. I think they realized, Travis Benjamin
went to the
good,
Chargers.
But, that's probably the best receiver they had all year.
It was.
And then they had...
Barnage, the tight end.
So it's like, we good at tight end, at least pass catching tight ends.
And then the whole Josh Gordon situation.
Yeah.
This tells me that they're trying to kick him off the team.
But 5 receivers total?
That is kind of ridiculous for a draft.
Excessive.
It's a little extreme. Extreme.
Seems like they're giving between him and McCown, they got a competition going.
Yeah,
that's what it seems like.
I guess so. The other team I want to focus on is the 49ers, and Chip Kelly is going to be Chip Kelly, man. I tell you, who his first pick was? This kid DeForest Buckner, defensive end from Oregon,
right,
of course.
Right,
so
right.
He's trying to create.
But that kid is good, though. I will say that kid is good. That kid is good. So shouts out to that. I guess it just happens to be, it was right there. No questions asked. We gonna get Oregon.
The Oregon Ducks turn them into the San Francisco Ducks.
If you lived under a rock, listeners. Number 1, the Rams picked up Jared Goff, and then number 2, Carson Wentz went to the Eagles.
Yep.
Like we all pretty much
knew
was going to happen.
And then 3 through the rest was kind of a toss up. But let me get to the Ravens for a second here, and I gotta shout out my homeboy Jason, who lives not far from us. He came over the house last night, and of course he's a diehard Steeler fan like yourself, and of course had to rip the Ravens, for no apparent reason, talking about how the Ravens draft was a bum draft. And look, I don't know what to make of the Ravens picks, and I'll start with the number 1 pick that we made, Ronnie Stanley, out of Notre Dame. I like the pick. I like the fact that they went on the offensive line because we need protection on that left side. Eugene Monroe is not cutting it right now. I like the pick. I don't necessarily, and I got to admit to you, Maestro, when Tunsil was there, I was like, get him.
Yeah.
I was like, get him.
Yeah.
And it was before the video with the bomb, with the mask and all that came out, and then I was like, oh, that's what happened.
Yeah.
And they just took him off the board there.
Right.
The rest of the draft for the Ravens, to me, was pretty good. We kind of went defense heavy as well because we definitely need to close games out better than we did last season. So I like the picks that we made. We had 11 picks total. This kid Correa, outside linebacker in the second round. Kafusi, another defensive end. I like that pick. We only drafted one receiver out of Cincinnati, Chris Moore. I think he'll make the team. I think he'll make the team because, quite frankly, some of the wide receivers on the Ravens, particularly those ones after Kamar Aiken, aren't that good.
Yeah.
So I think he definitely has a chance there. I would give the Ravens a B. I would give the Ravens a B.
Yeah, I never do. I know listeners sit here and listen to me and think I never say anything bad about the Steelers. But I am objectively saying that I give the Steelers an A. And it's really because it wasn't a whole bunch of strategy to what we needed to do.
Right.
Right.
Offense. It was clear that one side of the ball.
Offense is not a problem. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So we did what we needed to do. I mean, we picked up a wide receiver that could possibly. Another weakness we've been having over the years is special teams. Mm-hmm. We haven't been good on kickoff returns and punt returns. People either kick away from Antonio Brown.
Yep.
We haven't been good. So it's like, and then we need to get Antonio Brown off of special teams. So, like, that made sense. They did everything they were supposed to do, and it was real clear, in my personal opinion, it was real clear what we needed to do. You ain't have to read no blog. I ain't have to look at the website. Anybody who watched the Steelers play last year, if you watched 3 games, random games that the Steelers played last year, you knew exactly what they needed.
Yep.
And what needed. I mean, offensive tackles made sense later in the draft. Like, everything they did made sense. So and they addressed it because it was there. So
this is the Barbershop Sports Talk podcast with myself, Trey, and Maestro here. Keenan Reynolds, I forgot about this cat for the Ravens. Drafted him out of Navy. He was pick 182, like in the 5th round, something like that. He'll be a very good punt kick returner for us, I think. I think I watched one game of him when he was at Navy, and he just looked very, very explosive to me. Played quarterback for Navy also, so I like that as well. The thing with him is he's committed 5 years to the Navy.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of we have his rights now, but it's about, okay, can he play year 1? And if he does he have to commit to the Navy year 2, year 3, and all that stuff? Right. So that's kind of how that works. So getting to Laramie Tunsil, and again, I wanted the Ravens to pick him right at number 6 there, and obviously the video came out, and he dropped, 6-7 spots to number 13. Mm-hmm. The Dolphins picked him up.
To be honest, it kind of irritated me that he got that far down.
Yep.
But I get it. Whatever.
Sure.
There was a lot of people that could have used his services.
Sure, absolutely. Whoever those 6 teams that came after us, they passed on him as well. And, and shout out to Ravens Nation. I know there's a lot of people that don't mind the Stanley pick. I was on the fence about it a little bit. I think if Stanley turns out to be a bust, Ozzie might gotta go. If it turns out, because people are saying Tunsil's a potential Hall of Fame left tackle.
Yeah.
But yeah, sure. Does he have issues? Yeah, sure. I get it. Yeah. I get it. But Lawrence Taylor had issues. Mm-hmm. Warren Sapp had his issues. Ray Lewis had his issues.
Terrell Suggs.
So it's this thing about social media, man. And I think what happened there, the Ravens with all the bad PR that they got from the Ray Rice situation, they just don't want the media attention. I mean, look what happened the next day after Laramie Tunsil said that he caught some kind of infection and then he couldn't go to the press conference for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
The media made a big deal about that.
Yeah.
So it's like, Jesus. And it's all because of this video.
No, I don't know if you saw the meme with
the Jordan cry face?
No, Laramie Tunsil's helmet. It was the Dolphins helmet with the mask on front of it.
Okay.
I mean, as far as that, man, Laramie Tunsil, I really wonder, how did the joint get released? He said his Twitter was hacked.
He said his Twitter was hacked. And
that's a crazy ass time for your Twitter to get hacked.
Sure. And me personally, if he got set up and there's been talk about he and his stepdad had some issues and stuff, if his stepdad had something to do with that, I would not be surprised.
I'd beat his ass.
Messing with my money.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, but shout out to Laramie Tunsil, because I do believe I do believe he got the possibility, just from what I've seen.
Right.
I do believe he could be good.
He could be great.
Maybe not the right team, but
yeah. And I think that's a concern when you're in South Beach, for one, which is a lot of distractions, and number two, you don't have a very great locker room.
Yeah.
You got Dominican Sue, who I don't think is a leader.
Well, he
by any stretch of the imagination. I think he's just a guy that
plays well
and takes up space and is getting paid pretty well.
Yeah.
And you're with an organization that hasn't won in almost a decade and a half.
Yeah.
So, that'll be something to
maybe he could switch it
look
around.
at. Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
The boy Skip Bayless, man. He's leaving ESPN after the NBA Finals to go to Fox Sports. Contract says he's going to be making $5.5 million a year with Fox Sports. I know what I know emphatically is that Jamie Horowitz, who used to be with ESPN, is the guy that kind of brung him over. I guess Jamie Horowitz had eventually went over to Fox Sports, and when they started looking for talent, Skip Bayless was the first person he thought about.
Right.
I heard I was reading something online somewhere where they was talking about Skip Bayless got tired of doing all the work. Like, they have their pre-show meetings at,
sure,
however early, 7 in the morning, whatever.
Yep.
And it's been plenty of times where Stephen A would call from his house, in the bed, because he don't like, he self-proclaims he don't like getting up in the morning, So there is rumors of tension going on between them because of that.
Oh, okay.
Because why they
but
in
it's strictly
there,
business, though. I think. I mean, I don't think it's on a personal level.
Well,
I do think they're friends.
I think they're friends from the aspect of. I mean, I think doing First Take is what brought them closer.
Right.
But I think outside of that, they're just friends. They see each other. What's good, whatever. Hope everything's well for you. I don't think they're best friends. Like you said, they don't go out to eat after the show, or they're not Jamel and Michael Smith or nothing like that.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But they do work. They get along with each other. So I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of truth to that. Like, I don't think that's why Skip left.
Right.
But more so, it's kind of like one of those underlying factors. Like, all right, maybe I can go the money there, whatever, and then I ain't got to deal. Some of the work pressures off of me. Right.
Skip is 61 years old, I think. So I think maybe he's thinking, hey, I don't want to do too much. I'm getting older, even though I'm working out every day.
I mean, if that's truly the case, I mean, it could, like I said, it's just a rumor, so I don't necessarily know that that's what's really happening.
Right.
It's just something I read online.
Well, interesting you brought up the Stephen A. thing, because
and they just signed him to a new contract.
Stephen A. Yeah. I don't even think he's in for a year yet since they announced it, but. The Stephen A. thing is interesting because I know he lives in Jersey somewhere. I think like South Jersey, because he's in that Philly area. But I think that's interesting because Stephen A. also does his afternoon show from 1 to 3, I think, on satellite radio. So from First Take, after First Take, he's immediately got to do his radio show.
Yeah.
So I can understand some of the heavy workload he does.
Then
Plus,
he
on
does
top of the fact
Sports
that
Center
Sports Center at 6 p.m.
NFL Countdown at times.
NFL Countdown.
Like they really working him.
And then even around this time of year when the NBA playoffs is going on, he's going to different
those
cities.
Special games, right? Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's why sometimes he does a show from different cities.
Yeah, right,
like if he's in Cleveland one morning, it's because he's covering the Cavs later on in the game there.
But I think, or at least I don't think. What I heard, the complaint is that I mean, because I don't think Skip is obviously talking about times when he's can't be in the office.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They saying that he's talking about times where, you know, let's say a Sunday, you know, he's going to be in studio on Monday, like get up, come, you know, make the pre-meeting. And he wasn't making those pre-meetings.
And I gotta admit, man, South Jersey to Bristol, Connecticut, that ain't easy, man. That is not an easy commute. I don't know where exactly Bristol is in Connecticut, but I do know that you gotta drive through the Cross Bronx Expressway just to get there.
How long would you say that ride is, being a New Yorker, from Jersey to Connecticut?
Well, first of all, you got to deal with the Jersey Turnpike. That's no easy feat.
Right.
Then, if he goes the way I think he goes, 95, George Washington Bridge, through the Bronx, Cross Bronx, going through upstate, that's no easy feat either. It could take a good hour and a half just to get through the Bronx.
Yeah.
Without traffic, it's probably 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So, I can understand if Stephen A. don't want to go to Bristol every day.
Yeah.
I could totally get it.
But would you be okay with that?
If I'm Skip?
If you're Skip.
If I'm Skip, I'm okay with... if I'm Skip, I should be okay with it.
I don't think I'd be okay with it. If
it's affecting them trying to get the morning ritual routine going...
That's what I'm saying. I can't imagine how that wouldn't be affecting the routine, because when you at home, you at home. And that's not to say Stephen A. can't work from home and whatever. But when you at home, you at home. You know what I'm saying? To my understanding, he got kids. At least he got a girl. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It can distract.
No doubt.
I ain't watching Stephen A.'s pockets, but you know what I'm saying? I would imagine he got enough. Why wouldn't... Can you move your family to Bristol? I mean, is that a...
Or get another property, maybe?
Yeah, you know.
Because Mike Wilbon has a property in Arizona, and I think he still lives in the area here, in the D.C. area. So, you know, these columnists that make, you know... I think they make millions of dollars in my
I'm sure
opinion.
Some of them. Yeah, Mike Wilbon.
He's got that guala, you know. But I would like to think that some of these guys have more than one residence in different parts of the country.
Right.
You know,
you would think so.
This way, like, hey, if I'm in Chicago, at least I got a property here. If I got to go to Milwaukee, I could just drive up the highway from Chicago. Right. You know, no problem at all. So, but on the Fox Sports side of things with Skip, it seems like Fox Sports is trying to pull ESPN talent. Yeah. They got Colin Cowherd, they got Jason Whitlock, and even a couple years ago, you remember Mike Hill, black guy, was on there? Yeah, they got Mike Hill. He's still on there doing his thing.
It's just a matter, again, I think it was about Jamie Horowitz, formerly of ESPN, coming in and saying, hey, you know.
Yep.
I wonder they going to try to grab Doug up.
Hey, I was just thinking to myself, the quote unquote the puppet factory, as Doug Stewart likes to call it, taking some hits over the last couple of weeks.
No, I'm talking about Fox Sports. I want Fox Sports to be like, hey, we want the two live stews.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? On our, you know. But anyway, shouts out to Skip, man. I would love for his first take to just be over at this point.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that. Like, what does it do for First Take? Because I think it's going to take a hit.
Well, ain't no doubt about whether it's going to take a hit or not. Because as much as I can listen to Stephen A. talk,
right?
I think the dynamic of
the back and forth between him and Skip,
and not that they couldn't go back and forth with anybody else,
right?
But that's just I don't know. It might just be me being used to it. I don't see First Take without Skip Bayless. I'll be honest with you, I'd be lying to y'all I'm pretty much probably just not gonna watch First Take anymore.
Well,
I mean, unless I just happen to be,
yeah. Well,
whatever,
let's
whatever.
Let's see.
But shout out to Molly Curran because she's beautiful.
Let's see who they get to replace Skip. And quite frankly,
they're not Jamel Hill.
They're not going to replace Skip in terms of the interaction,
the chemistry between him and
Stephen A. But I want to see who they going to get now, because I think the first month or so, you're going to see like Freddie Coleman. You're going to see the other girl that come on there. You're going to see.
I don't want to see Freddie.
Those guys that normally fill in for them.
Yeah, right.
Start to take turns after a while, and then I think it might get to a point to where, you know what, we got to blow the thing up.
Yeah, so, immediately after that, people started speculating that Jamel Hill was going to take Skip's place.
And she came out on Twitter and was like,
nah, right. Which, why would you?
Why would you?
Yeah,
I mean,
you got to show
her and Mike Smith got the chemistry
and then
going.
you got to show that's kind of built in, and, you know what I'm saying? So.
Exactly.
But in any event, yeah. So
that'll be interesting to see.
Much success to Skip Bayless. I'm not a big watcher of Fox Sports, not because I don't like it. I just don't watch it.
Well, people say, I can't find it on my TV, which I think is partly. I think it's valid in the beginning.
Yeah.
But Fox Sports 1 has been around almost 2-3 years now.
I think it's more about the fact that ESPN is branded so well.
Sure, I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it. But I understand what Fox Sports is trying to do also.
Yeah,
they're trying to build their brand as well,
which like they should.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. D. Gordon, second baseman for the Miami Marlins, got popped for some PEDs last week, so he's going to serve an 80-game suspension. That sucks. He led the league in stolen bases last year, led the league in batting average, and I tell you what, Maestro, this guy is only like $180 soaking wet with boots on. Mm-hmm. So it's like, what you taking PEDs for? I mean, you know what I'm saying? But what's interesting about this is, Barry Bonds is the hitting coach for the Marlins.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, and this is just for fun stuff.
Of course it is.
A lot of people are like,
until they find a little hint of something that might suggest.
Yeah, wink, wink. Hey, Barry Bonds. Hey, what's going on with your boy, man? You smuggling some stuff in the dugout, man? What's going on, man?
They love that. They love that shit, man.
Yeah,
he got. Yeah, I mean, has his you know anything about his production?
He's one of the best players next to Jose Fernandez and Giancarlo Stanton. But other than that, I don't know what his stats are to date. Hey, I do got to shout out one of our favorite listeners. She calls herself Mocha Bella. She's from Miami. She's all things Miami, the University of Miami. She's in love with the Miami Heat, Dolphins. She's everything Miami.
Yeah, I'm sorry, except for the Heat.
She's all things Miami, but
but she be having Facebook lit though. She
do. She definitely do. But I'm sure as a Miami sports fan, she had one hell of a day last week with the Tunsil thing in the draft, with this D. Gordon suspension, and then with the Heat being down 3-2 against the Charlotte Hornets. Mm-hmm. So that was, speaking of the NBA. Let's talk about your Capitals, man.
I mean, Capitals. We had our kryptonite, man. We had our kryptonite team, the Pittsburgh Penguins. We looked. Yeah, we down 2-1 right now. We looked alright in game 1. We looked alright. We lost. I think we lost game 2. I think we lost game 1.
Lost game 2.
Lost game 2. One game. Right.
Lost game 2 and then lost game 3.
But game 3, we was down 3-0 and hit 2 quick goals within the third period.
Right. Nervous?
I don't want to say it's nerves. It's like when you expected to lose,
right?
And then you trying to figure out, am I really better than these niggas, or are they really just gonna keep shitting on me every time we gotta see them?
Right.
Are these the guys that do they got our number?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And I really hope that they kind of filling their way out before it's too late.
Right.
I mean, because 2-1 obviously ain't a big deficit. They can win. They can win this next game and be right back in the mix. Obviously,
yeah, tie it up 2-2.
2-2, right? So, Ovechkin, man, you got to show up, man. It's times when the leader got to be the leader, and you got to, and I'm a believer in this in all sports, and I understand that hockey is kind of more of a team game.
Yep.
But I'm a believer that when
things get bad,
you got to have a guy. Your best player got to be there.
Yeah.
So I'm calling out Ovechkin. I could call out a whole bunch of other people on the team, but I'm gonna call out the leader.
You're listening to the Barbershop Sports Talk podcast with myself, Trey, and Maestro here. With the Capitals, though, I know they suspended one guy for 3 games for a hit.
Yeah.
So I think in last night's game or the game before, one of the Penguins players took a hit to one of the Capitals guys. Mm-hmm. And I just saw that they're only giving him a game suspension. There's a lot of chatter around this league that the league is in love with the Penguins.
Yeah.
That the Penguins are their golden goose right now in the playoffs, and they're giving them every single advantage to, press on. You believe that? That
could be the case. It could be the case. I'm just not a firm believer. Not a firm believer in those. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Don't matter what the referees call. Don't matter, you know what I'm saying? If it's meant for you to win this series, and you feel like it's meant for you to win this series, you got to play through the shit.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? And with the way they scored those 2 goals in the last game, it's not like they can't score. They can score against this team. It's just a matter of,
and they got a backup goalie.
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, it's just a matter of figuring out what's the real issue that's going to get them out of this, and they don't know yet.
They're going to have to play tougher, man.
Yeah,
they got to.
They definitely have to.
They can't go down 3-1 coming back home.
No.
They can't do it.
I mean, they can't either.
If they lose game 4,
they
lose game 4, it's a wrap.
Yeah,
in my eyes.
I agree with that.
NBA, Luke Walton gets hired by the Lakers to coach the Lakers next season. I thought he would kind of wait a little bit. I know the Steve Kerr thing where he got surgery on his back earlier this season. He stayed out for half the season and then he came back. I'm wondering how many more seasons Steve Kerr was going to coach, because let's say Steve Kerr was like, okay, I'm done at some point, like next season. Mm-hmm. This would have been Luke Walton's team to inherit and take over. Now you're with a team that there's questions in the air about the talent on the team and the direction, and there's questions about this front office.
Yeah, well, I think personally that it's a good fit, just in the terms of Luke Walton being an ex-Laker. I think they said it didn't take them long to hire him. They said when they went in an interview, he went in with the understanding that this wasn't going to happen next year.
Yep.
And no matter, this might not happen in the next 3 years. And he went in the interview and made it very clear. He didn't go in trying to promise something like, I'm going to turn this team around and we're going to be a playoff team in 2016. He didn't do any of that. He came in and said that this is going to be a working process. We're looking to the future. I mean, obviously Kobe just left. I mean, we kind of don't really know what we got. I mean, they've been trying to trade Nick Young for the past 2 years. I think at some point they're going to end up just cutting him.
Right?
Yeah. So
that's who you going to get for him, unless you get a draft pick for him.
So a low draft pick for him.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
there's going to be that. We don't necessarily know what we're going to get out of D'Angelo Russell. Magic Johnson, I just read, has agreed to mentor him in the summertime. So we'll see how that pans out.
Right.
But they're going to be bad. He went in there and said we're going to be bad. And they understand that, and they hide him under the pretense that they know that he knows that they're not going to be good, and that works for the Lakers while they try to sort this whole thing out.
Right.
I would like to see him stick it with the Lakers for the long run. Sure. Once they figure out all the front office, and then let's see what he could do, because I believe he can coach. Now,
I think he can.
Now, obviously, coaching the Warriors.
I don't think
that's not a
good
super
sample
great.
size.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good sample size.
I definitely don't think that's a good sample size. But I do have to credit that he was on that bench. You know, he's working with those guys.
Yes.
So he's learned something. He's picking up something.
And then also, I think Luke Walton in his head thought, well, this is an opportunity for me to actually get a coaching position because these don't come around very often.
That's true,
so
too.
Let me just get this opportunity.
And he knows everybody in the building.
He knows everybody there. He played with the team a few years. He won a championship in 2009 with Kobe. So, I mean, it was a no-brainer. At least to many Laker fans and to many people in the Laker organization. Yeah. It was a surefire no-brainer. I know his dad is very, pleased with his decision and all that stuff. So, coming from a legend, let it be your own dad to, support you on that track. What do you think about the whole free agency part of this? Because there's rumors out there that Kevin Durant, his free agency is coming up this offseason.
Well, that's not happening.
Going to the Lakers. You got the Russell Westbrook thing. His contract's up after next season.
Yeah, I think that's more likely to happen.
I mean, could the Lakers bounce right back and be?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what's
at least playoff contenders.
I'm gonna tell you what's not gonna happen. What's not gonna happen is that Durant ain't going to LA. I don't think he's going to LA with the front office.
Right, and I don't like that for him either.
Well, I think it'll work for him because he's Kevin Durant. I think you put Kevin Durant on any team right now, and he's the number one guy.
Right,
and they're
a playoff contender in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean they're in the playoffs. I don't want to necessarily because I don't think if he goes to the
I don't want to say title contender.
Well, I don't even want to say. I'll say they make the playoffs.
Yep,
but they're probably 8, 7, 8.
Sure,
something like that.
Yep.
But just that Laker team right now. That's the best they could do with Kevin Durant.
Right.
But the way the front office looking right now, I don't see Kevin Durant coming to LA. Russell Westbrook going to the Lakers makes sense because of the whole home city thing. He's been talking about this. It's been rumors about this for years now.
Yep.
So that makes sense to me, especially if Durant leaves this year.
Yep.
So that makes sense to me. Give him a little time. That's obviously going to put D'Angelo Russell at his natural 2 position where he wanted to, where people feel like he should play.
Right.
That kind of makes more sense to me. And then they got pieces as far as I hate that.
The Julius Randle.
Is more who I want to talk about.
I don't think Roy Hibbert is in their future.
Yeah.
I don't think. Jordan Clarkson, I think, is semi in that future.
I think he's definitely in their future.
Yeah.
So there's that. But all in all, the Luke Walton picking up Luke Walton makes sense to me. It makes sense. I think it's a good pick up for them.
Yeah, sure. I got you.
Yeah.
So
Ray Lewis' son.
Oh, his son. Yeah, his son got charged with 3rd-degree criminal sexual conduct.
Man, you're going to have to inform me on this story because I didn't really...
Well, I don't remember the college that his son attends, but obviously, you're in college, you're messing around with some females and all that. And this allegedly happened with one of these females on campus. So, look, would it surprise me if Shorty was trying to get some attention off of this? Wouldn't surprise me at all. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is Ray Lewis's son. Let me, make some guap off of this. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
You know what position he play?
No, I do not know what position.
I want to say he's a receiver, but I was interested. I was talking to somebody earlier today, and I was trying to figure out what position he played.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't know what position he plays, but yeah, I mean, definitely not a good look. I mean, to be in the news off something like this, but I guess his 2 shall pass. I guess because. I mean, how long does things like this usually take to?
Well, it depends on how real it is. I mean, you would think that in order to make it go away, you just shut the fuck up and go through your
pay her off.
Well, I mean, yeah,
but if it comes down to that,
but not even that. I'm just more so in the scheme of you normally how you let these things fall off. You just don't say anything.
Right.
You don't need to do a press conference. You don't need to do no tweets, no Instagram posts.
Yeah.
You don't need to do
Lay
nothing.
off the social media.
Don't let your Ray Lewis Sr. don't say nothing. Just
right.
If they have to ask you about it, I don't think my son did it, and we're looking into. We're looking into the whatever happens. We want to let the legal system do what the legal system do, and that's all you gotta say.
Right.
You don't have to get into no opinions. You don't have to get into no great motivational speech like we know Ray Lewis is known to do.
Right.
Just shut the fuck up and let it pass. And normally it passed in that manner unless new evidence is presented. So
right.
Just let it pass.
Yeah. I get you, man. I think if he because he's been doing a lot of motivational videos in case nobody's paid attention, and
just shut up. Just don't say nothing.
Just kind of fall back a little bit because people gonna come out and start bringing up the 2000 case and start bringing up like daddy, like son, but
all that stuff. Do you think Ray Lewis shuts up?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Neither.
I don't think he does.
I didn't think so neither.
But I think he'll limit the time that he does to
I wouldn't be surprised if he did a motivational speech that directly addressed this entire situation and
kind of subliminally, right?
Or indirectly. I could see him doing that, and I guess if that's what you feel like you got to do in your heart, but this would be a perfect time to just chill.
Yeah,
this would be a perfect time.
I agree. I would just shut down all of social media. Just focus on your son. Focus on the rest of your family. Y'all pray every day. Do whatever ritual y'all do, and just
shut the fuck up.
Concentrate.
Shut up
and be quiet.
Yeah, just shut up.
NBA playoffs.
Let's do it.
Let's start in the Western Conference here. So the Warriors, they move on. Obviously, no-brainer. They beat the Rockets in a series, 4-1.
Yeah.
So what's next for the Houston Rockets? Because I think Dwight Howard is on his way out.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, and you got some veterans on that team. Jason Terry, I think he should just retire at this point.
Jason Terry, I heard, is applying for coaching jobs. I think he got a college coaching gig.
Okay.
It's a low school.
Right.
But I think he's already got a coaching gig for next year. I think he's out of there.
Oh, okay.
I think he's already out of there.
Yeah, he's got to go. I don't like the future of this team because James Harden being the star, it'll keep you relevant in terms of the highlights, but
I think they'll still make the playoffs.
They struggled this year to make the playoffs, but I guess in the West, you could go for a 7 or 8 seed like they did.
Well, I think just because James Harden is James Harden, I think they can make the playoffs.
Right. I think we both know that he is what he is.
He's a scorer.
He's a scorer.
That's it.
That's it. He could give you 10 assists every now and then, but other than that, when he gets the ball, he's going to put in the hoop.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah. Blazers. And obviously, we recorded last week. And right after we recorded, all those injuries to the Clippers started happening.
CP3 and Blake Griffin.
Yep. And that series just turned
all the way around.
All the way around for the worst,
and,
man. But you got to credit the Blazers, because to me it was like, you better beat the Clippers now.
Credit is a strong word.
They took advantage of the weaknesses that they had.
They did what they were supposed to do.
And if they'd have lost that series still, because the Clippers were still competitive without those two guys.
Jamal Crawford
put in work.
JJ Redick was still there.
Austin Rivers put in work. He had his eye bloodied up.
Yeah, and still came back and scored 21.
Yep.
So shout out to him. It's not that they don't have the effort without Blake Griffin and CP3, but obviously, those are your two best players.
Yeah.
So That got shut all the way down.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. So, what now for the Clippers now?
The Clippers, CP3 has got to be considering, I need a championship.
Other options.
Yeah, I would think he's got to be considering other options.
Right.
And if that happens, then it's like, okay, are you ready to put Austin Rivers
in that role.
The kind of, and then a father son.
Yeah.
Like OAAU games.
Right.
Are you ready for that?
Hey, speaking of that, and by the way, you're listening to Trey and Maestro on the Barbershop Sports Talk podcast. I got this quote from Austin Rivers. This was after Game 6 of the series with Portland. Mm-hmm. He says, he and I don't know each other like that.
Yeah.
We know each other as strictly basketball. A lot of people on the outside don't understand that because people think we have a relationship like every other father and son. We just don't. That's because he's been gone my whole life, and that's fine. Hey man, that's some reality.
That's
for
some
you.
honesty for your ass.
Yeah, word up, man. Hey, just it's just an eye opener. I thought it made sense because Doc has had a playing career, and he's also had a lengthy coaching career as well. So
how would you expect for him to have time?
Right.
I'm not, I'm certainly not excusing that because I think you have to make some time. I feel like that it shouldn't be a situation where your child grows up and I'll be honest with you, that's a fear in my life. I got 2 little girls and I plan on being very successful in the next few years. So if my career warrants me to be out and about all the time, then it's already kind of strenuous to see them all the time anyway.
Right.
So with that going on, a fear of mine is they turn 12 and 13 and I don't know them more.
Right.
Or even further down the line when they grow up and they could look back and feel like, okay, well, my father never really was a part of my life. That's something to be concerned with.
Oh, absolutely.
And then, so you got to kind of find a balance. I don't know. I'm certainly not about getting into who's right and who's wrong, but I do know that you don't want your kid to have that feeling about you as an adult. That had to hurt Doc Rivers in some sort of way.
Oh, I'm sure it did. Especially after losing the way he did.
Like, why would you say that at that point?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure one of the reporters asked him about the relationship.
Yeah, but why could you? One thing that sports athletes are great at doing is curving reporters.
Yep.
Why would you say that then?
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I don't know what the motive was.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's not something.
About.
I mean, I would love to hear what Doc Rivers felt about it because that's just not something. I don't think that's something you say in the midst of a playoff loss,
right?
Where this ain't an Austin Rivers documentary. We asking you about the game, and I like you said, I get that they may have asked the question, but yep. I don't think that you air family business out like that.
Yeah, sure. Nah, I don't quite understand what that situation was, but like you said, that was some honesty, man. And for people out there that, like he said in his quote, think that these people, these father-son tandems have these great relationships aside from sports, think again sometimes because these sports can really take time away from your kids.
You play from October to April if you don't make the playoffs.
Yep. And then if you do make the playoffs, that's an extra
month or maybe 2 months.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then you probably spend that off season, a lot of it draft, scouting
in the office.
Yeah, right. Trying to
D-League stuff.
Yeah,
you never know.
It's a job that can be seen as strenuous on kids.
Oh,
it can be seen that way.
Definitely no.
Yeah. So, but you gotta try to find a way, man.
Yeah.
You gotta try to find a way.
I get you. So as a result, the Blazers and the Warriors, they gear up for the second round, and Game 1 passed us already.
Yeah.
Warriors took care of business there. Game 2 is tonight. Man, I tell you what, I know the Steph injury kind of lingers out there, but it seems like...
I'm not going to front with you.
It seemed like they should sit him for this series. It seemed like they should sit him for this series.
I don't see...
And that's no disrespect to the Blazers, because I think the Blazers...
The Blazers shouldn't even be here.
Well, we can't. I mean, go back now. They're here.
Well,
they're here.
Well, when I say that, I'm not saying that we didn't see, and I guess, of course, that's why you play the games. The Blazers could have beat the Clippers if CP3 and Blake Griffin was healthy. Sure, it could have happened if you see I'm air quotating right now. Mm-hmm. But probabilities are is that they wouldn't have beat them. I think I had the Clippers beating them 4-1.
I had a sweep.
Yeah, right.
I had a sweep until the injuries
happened. Right. So it's like, all right, I mean, I'll give you this maybe. Maybe the Clippers, maybe the Portland Trail Blazers, they match up better against the Warriors just because
of the dynamic backcourt that the Blazers have.
Yeah, and then
Mason Plumlee is kind of coming on.
Andrew Bogut played a really good game Sunday.
He did.
But he doesn't normally do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't expect that
but
for game
Andrew
2
Bogut played a very good game.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Mason Plumlee in the series against the Clippers has played very well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to go up against DeAndre, and that's no easy task. And he's still, doing what he's doing.
But seeing game 1, Draymond Green got that front court on lock.
Yep.
Sean Livingston is doing just fine with
filling in pretty good. Klay Thompson is taking over the scoring.
Yeah, and I don't know if he'll score 37 in every game.
I think he will.
But needless. Draymond had.
He's going to average 29. He's going to average 29.
I get him at like 25. But all that to say is that C.J. McCollum didn't have a great game. Damian Lillard didn't heat up to the fourth quarter.
Right.
It's just not. Damian Lillard will get him a game. Warriors are going to win in 5.
You got him in 5.
Warriors are going to win in 5.
I got a sweep. And I know I picked them to get swept twice already, but like you said in game 1, it just seemed like they were coming off of a series against the Clippers, and that was some people don't agree, but that was a tough fought series. So I got them in a sweep. I just think the matchups are just too much for them, even without Steph.
Yeah,
and I think they should just leave Steph be and let him sit him.
I agree.
And wait for the conference finals at that point. So, okay, so Thunder and Spurs. So last night,
the Thunder. What was the 4-1 against the Mavericks?
Yeah, they were 4-1,
and then they swept, and then the
Spurs swept Memphis.
Yeah.
So in this series, this is probably the best series out of the 4 in the conference semis. Spurs blow out the Thunder in game 1.
Yeah.
Thunder come back strong in the first half of game 2, and then the Spurs made it interesting, and then we all know what happened at the end of the fourth quarter there with the calls and stuff like that. And if you watch the game, Chris Webber, who was doing the color analyzing, he was livid, man. He was just going off like that's a foul. Like that's like I think he said it like 5 times. Like that's a foul. I'm all for them just letting them play, man, because at the end of the day, the Spurs had an opportunity to win the game.
Yeah.
They did.
But they didn't. They missed some pretty blatant calls. They did miss some pretty blatant calls. I think they missed
like 9 calls in that one little sequence. Deion Waiters throws the ball out and elbows Ginobili, but Ginobili's foot was out of bounds.
Right.
They missed that call.
Right.
They missed the elbow I think Westbrook gave to somebody on the court during that sequence. They missed a whole bunch of stuff. And obviously, it's 15 seconds left, and so the Spurs get the steal, and so they trying to scramble and try to get the best shot.
Right.
So the refs is really not gonna make any calls unless it's like clear cut.
I think a few of those is clear cut, but
so many of them happened in like
what I would say
intervals.
What I would say is that this series is going to be good, like we thought it might be.
Oh yeah.
This series is going to be good.
I did not expect the Thunder to get a game in San Antonio.
I thought they had to.
Sure.
In order for my prediction to be what my prediction is. And with that being said, I have the Thunder in 7.
You got the Thunder in 7?
I got the Thunder in 7.
Okay, yeah, that would make for a pretty good series.
Yeah.
I like what the Thunder did, spreading the ball around, getting the ball movement going in Game 2. So you could tell that they definitely made the adjustments that they needed to from Game 1. Oklahoma City's athleticism is just crazy. I mean, the Spurs' ball movement is always going to be there.
Yeah.
LaMarcus Aldridge is going to get his 28.
He scored?
Like 39 or
40 points
in Game 2.
Yeah.
I mean, Game 1 he was going off. Man,
it reminds me of that Spurs that 1 year where he was. I think they played the Rockets when he was with the Blazers 1 year, and he was scoring like 40 every game.
Oh yeah, it was a couple years ago.
Yeah, he looked like he was kind of in that mode.
Yep,
like he might turn up for real.
He hits that 15-footer so well, man.
Yeah,
he's just a tremendous player. I'm gonna stick with the Spurs. And I got it going a distance the way you got it going a distance. I got it going 7. But I think Game 7 in San Antonio,
I'm going to tell you.
I got to give it to the Spurs, man.
I'm going to tell you, one thing that I'm always hanging my head on this.
Right.
In the playoffs, it's about the guards. And
Kawhi
Leonard can't guard Durant and Westbrook. He can't guard both of them.
Totally get it.
Yeah, and
totally get it.
Somebody between Westbrook and Durant is going to turn up in that Game 7.
Ginobili can't do it.
Ginobili nor Parker can do it.
Yeah.
Who you gonna bring in? Patty Mills?
Not for a series long.
Yeah.
They can't do it consistently.
They can't do it.
I got it. I get you.
They can't do it. So I got the Thunder in 7.
Okay, yeah, just because San Antonio's got Game 7 at home, I'm gonna stick with the Spurs, but I would not be surprised if the Thunder do make it out,
right?
And that'll make for a compelling Western Conference final.
I'm gonna just go ahead and put it out there, man. I didn't feel this. Obviously, I didn't feel this way earlier in the year, and Golden State, winning 73 games and all that.
Mm-hmm.
With Steph Curry being injured, and I don't know how serious it is, and the Thunder might go to the finals, man.
I don't know, man.
I'm gonna book it.
We'll cross the bridge when we get there. Obviously, we got to see what goes on with these series and stuff. Yeah, we'll see how.
I'm going to say it right now.
Yeah,
that I think the Thunder might go to the finals. I know
we'll see.
I know that's kind of double talking because I'm trying to fuck it. Thunder going to the final
right now.
Book it. I'm a G, nigga. Book it. Thunder is going to the finals.
Y'all heard it here first. Y'all heard it right here. I'm not.
Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. You heard it first. I'll do the plug. Maestro Styles, Trey, Fraser. You listen to the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. The Oklahoma City Thunder are going to the finals this year.
Wow. That you would be the absolute prophet if that happened.
Word.
Let's go to the East Conference here. The Hawks take the Celtics out in 6. So they're in a series with the Cavs right now, and it's Cleveland 1 up right now.
Yeah.
Had an opportunity in this game, the Hawks did. They were down by, I think, 20 points, and then they came back and took a 1-point lead, and then things just kind of fell apart for the Hawks in the last 3 minutes of the game. So you could tell, because Cleveland swept Detroit, they had the week off, and then they came out. You could tell in the third quarter they kind of took some plays off and kind of coasted a little bit.
Yeah.
But once they realized, this thing's getting away, let's amp it back up. Yeah. The 3-ball for the Cavs is just going right now.
Yeah.
And they need that to continue if they want to win a championship, in my eyes.
Right.
Man, I think they're going to dismantle the Hawks. As much as I want to give the Hawks 2 games in this series, I think it's going to be a sweep, man.
Yep, I'm with you. I'm with you.
What happened last night in this game happened last year in the conference finals. Mm-hmm. I talked to you about Tristan Thompson in that series last year.
Yeah.
The dude was going nuts on the offensive glass.
Yeah.
He went nuts last night again. I think he had 14 boards, and he was amazing.
And
they have no answer.
And another big difference. We got to go to your boy again.
Oh, please. Do we have
Jeff Teague against Kyrie Irving?
Kyrie just got the handles, man.
Kyrie Irving wants to win the game. And Kyrie Irving got the skill to win it for real. If LeBron wasn't on this team, I would still have Cavaliers beating the Hawks. Now, it wouldn't be a sweep.
Right.
But I would still, if Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson, Kyrie, this without LeBron.
Without LeBron, it would be a 7-game series.
It would be a 7-game series. But I still think Kyrie wills them in this series with the way Tristan Thompson's playing. Kevin Love found JR
shooting the 3 ball with confidence.
I think they still beat them, man. It's just that the Hawks.
Unreal.
Yeah, they're really good at running a system.
Unreal.
But when you got to throw plays out the window.
And they tried to address the big man issue in the offseason. Tiago Splitter, really?
But again, in the East, in the East Coast, the big man ain't the problem. On the Eastern Conference, the problem is that you got. I mean, really, in most of basketball, but you gotta have somebody that's like, get out the way,
right,
and let me do this.
Let me do this.
You play the wing, and you sit there and wait in case I miss it. And let me do what I do.
Right.
And they don't have nobody that's going to do that.
How many teams in the East actually have that guy? Like going let's go through each conference in the East. So
sure.
The Celtics, do they have that guy?
Isaiah Thomas. I mean, and obviously on a small scale, he's obviously not as big as Kyrie.
Right.
But he does it. He's like,
he's got the dog. In
him to do it. I'm about to get out my way. I'm about to do what I got to do.
Do the Knicks have it? Do my Knicks have it? Melo. See, Melo will take the shot.
Melo could do it if he is. Melo's not the same guy he was.
But he hasn't been making them clutch shots in the last few years.
I'd say the Knicks, no.
I'd say no. The Sixers, no.
No.
The Nets, no. The Raptors,
no.
I'm on the fence on that one.
Nah, I'm not.
I'm on the fence because I think DeRozan can turn it up a bit, but there's times
is
when
he
it's
gonna say get out my way,
give me the ball? I would expect that more from Lowry than DeRozan, but okay, I put no. Okay, in the Central, the Cavs, yes. Indy, yes. Paul George, Milwaukee.
I'll go no. Greek Freak ain't there yet.
No, not
he ain't
Greek.
there yet.
And quite frankly, I don't think Greek Freak was the closer for them last year. I mean, OJ Mayo off the bench.
So I'm going with hell no then. So I'm going with hell no then.
Alright, so the Bulls, yes. The Bulls, yes.
Jimmy Butler?
If not Jimmy Butler, Derrick Rose.
I'm not going Derrick Rose no more at this point.
Why?
Derrick Rose?
To say get out the way, let me
I don't think Derrick Rose is that dude no more. I mean, he's not even the star of the team no more.
Well, he might not be the dude, but he'll do it.
Nah, I'm going to go with no.
He'll do it.
I'm going to go with no.
Okay.
I'm going to go with no.
I'm missing somebody out of there. What's the other team in that division? Cleveland, Milwaukee, Indiana, Chicago. Oh, dang. Oh, Pistons.
No.
Reggie
Jackson, like you could tell he's trying to get there.
He's trying to,
but no.
He's trying to.
No.
Okay. South Division, the Heat, yes.
Yeah. Even though he kind of, but yeah, he's still there right now. He's still the guy.
We're gonna talk about that in a second.
Absolutely.
The Hornets.
Get out the way.
Kemba Walker.
Get out the way and let me. I'm not talking about for one play.
He's very erratic.
I'm going with no.
He's very erratic with his play. We'll talk about him in a second.
Because he. No. I'm going with no.
All right. Atlanta, no.
No.
Orlando.
I don't even know who's on Orlando's roster.
Oladipo.
No. I don't even know who's on their roster anymore.
I don't know yet. I don't know with him yet.
All right.
Well, and then the Wizards.
No.
So that's 4 teams in the East that have a guy that's going to say get out the way.
And it's no surprise that they're either championship teams or teams that we're looking at like these teams can really be good. The Celtics, the Cavaliers, obviously.
Yep. The Heat with Wade on his last leg.
Right. Yeah, like those are the teams that, like when we looked at the Heat beginning of the year, we was like they could possibly mess with the Cavs.
Right.
I mean, the Pacers are the only team that but they're there. They're on the come up. Like they're kind of. I mean, the Celtics are definitely better at this point, in my opinion.
Yep.
But they're there.
Yep. Speaking of the Celtics, and you're listening to the Barbershop Sports Talk podcast with myself, Trey. That's Maestro over there. I think the Celtics have an opportunity this offseason to get gradually better. They got a number 1 draft pick. They got a high draft pick in the first round.
Yeah.
They have other picks that they could possibly trade to get a marquee player, i.e. a Boogie Cousins. They could probably get Durant in the offseason out of free agency. They could do a lot of things this offseason. If
I were the Celtics, I would go all in with Boogie Cousins.
I like that look.
I would go all in Boogie Cousins.
I like that look.
Durant is not...
Now, can Brad Stevens coach this guy?
We're gonna have to find out. But if you put his skill set on the front court with Isaiah Thomas and Avery Bradley, I think that speaks more than Durant.
Right.
I would definitely go all in for that particular team. I would go all in with Boogie Cousins.
Yeah, I mean the pick and roll would be so unstoppable with Isaiah Thomas and Boogie Cousins at the 5 spot, and then Avery Bradley coming on. Well, he won't come off the bench. He'll still be starting. He'll be that
on the wing.
He'll be that lockdown defender.
He'll still be there.
Crowder, he could be the lockdown defender. So they got a chance to get a top 4 seed next season if they can make the right moves.
Boogie Cousins, absolutely.
And then if Brad Stevens can get these guys head.
I tell you what, they're definitely better than the Raptors in my opinion, and I think they're definitely better than the Hawks.
Yep, and we'll slide right into the Raptors, and you can't call them the Bengals no more, Maestro.
I guess.
I got to admit to you, watching the last few minutes of that fourth quarter, I'm sitting there smiling like, they really going to throw this I'm like,
I'm gonna stop calling them the Bengals strictly because they won.
I'm like, really, y'all really gonna just torture y'all fans like this, huh?
I'm gonna call them just because I'm not gonna call them that just because they won,
right?
But I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like they ain't did some Bengal type ish.
They really did
in that game.
They could not close that thing out for nothing, and then Lowry makes a big bucket, and then the Pacers had a couple turnovers at the end there, so. The series went the distance, 7 games. The Raptors finally won a postseason series for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
So the Pacers, I think they can get a little bit better. I think
they need front court help.
They definitely do.
They need front court help.
But that kid Miles Turner, the rookie for them, I think he has a lot of upside to him. If he can do what he did last year and then a little bit more, I think that team could take a step up. From where they're at now.
You're definitely not talking about the Pacers of the past, few years.
No, there's no David West.
No
Roy Hibbert when Roy Hibbert was actually doing something.
Right.
But the fact that they're young is a positive for them.
Right.
And, the East is getting better, so they got to keep pace with that.
Yeah. So the Raptors are playing...
the Heat.
Yeah.
By the way, that series went, and I predicted the series right.
0-7.
I predicted they win in 7. Mm-hmm. I was surprised that the Hornets got that Game 5, and me and my wife Debbie were watching Game 6, and I told her, I said, Dwayne Wade gonna show up. This is the type of game where the team that.
Never been in this position. Let's just keep it a book. As these new Charlotte Hornets,
with these players, never been in this position where really your best players are your youngest players.
Yeah,
they're gonna give it up. Jeremy Lin doesn't show up.
Jeremy Lin, come on, Jeremy Lin hasn't been a good player since the Knicks.
Yep.
And let's just keep it all with Buck. Does he have the potential to be a good player? Absolutely, but keep it a buck. He was never a good player.
Right.
So if I had to shoot at somebody for the Charlotte Hornets, it'd be Kemba Walker, and because again, and we just ran through the Eastern Conference talking about guys who have it and guys who don't.
Right.
This would have been an opportunity for Kemba Walker. D-Wade, sit your old ass down.
Right.
It's time for the young boys to get in and get it cracking. And
I got to give them credit, though, because they made a ferocious run in Game 6.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all Kemba Walker. They made a ferocious run. It's just, I think what happened in that game, the 3-ball wasn't going. They weren't getting the ball movement early in the game. And Jeremy Lin he came in the game and just wasn't doing anything. It was just moments where it was like, okay, this is Kemba Walker's game. And once it was Kemba Walker's game, everybody else just kind of just was like, I don't want no parts of it. I mean, he was taking crazy shots, and then they cut it down to 2 points, I think. They cut it down to 2. They get the ball back. And I don't like the set they came out in. He just basically just took a shot and was like, let me just go for the kill. And I'm like, no, you got to get that ball movement.
No. No, because that's not what a star player would do.
But the Heat was going to get another possession. They were going to at least be 2 more possessions.
Yeah, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, when you're talking about, because in most games, the nail in the coffin doesn't happen at the buzzer.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? It happens at a point where it's getting close, and it's
No, but he just shot the ball without at least run some time off.
The problem is
get a good shot, because he's been erratic. I mean, some of those shots he was making was very lucky, if you ask me.
Well, then he ain't the guy, damn it, and that's the problem. The problem is that shot, that 3 he took out of that set, should have went in. And when you are great, more times than not, that shot goes in.
Yep.
And when it don't, shout out to him for taking that responsibility, because
he almost willed them to a victory. That would have been big for that franchise if they'd have pulled it out.
That'd have been big for him. Mm-hmm. And again, it's about, and whether players want to admit it or not, it's about getting, when your idols become your rivals, man, you got to be, that was your time to sit Dwayne Wade old ass, crippled ass down.
Right.
No disrespect, he a legend.
Right.
But that was the time for the young boy to come in and shut the old man down. It's like when you're playing a game with your pops and you never But you had to hit it. You had to put that nail in the coffin. Yep. You didn't. Dwayne Wade,
two big buckets.
Yeah.
2 big buckets.
Like a great should.
Yep.
Like a guy, when you that nigga on your team, that's what you should be doing.
Yeah, shout out to the guy in the purple shirt on the sideline. He was getting in D-Wade's face, and D-Wade told him, yo, I'm still here, man.
Star quality.
I'm still here.
Star quality, man.
This is what y'all missing right here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, that was great. The Hornets got some issues, I think, because they got a lot of free agents to figure out who they're going to keep. Mm-hmm. I could see them taking a step back, because if you're trying to tell me that you're not going to sign Nick Batum, you may not sign Jeremy Lin, to me that's your team right there, because Nick Batum was almost a triple-double walking machine the entire season.
Well, Nick Batum definitely stays. There ain't nothing to that. Nick Batum stays.
They better pay him.
Jeremy Lin going ain't that bad. Ain't that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You could live without Jeremy Lin.
Right.
And after that, I don't see. I mean, Glenn Kaminsky got a great opportunity to, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Kaminsky
can grow
Kaminsky,
there.
Is this his name, Glenn Kaminsky?
Oh, Frank Kaminsky. A product out of Wisconsin.
Yeah. So he got a great opportunity to step up. Do they take a step back? I mean, they were 7 this year?
They were the number 6 seed, but they could have been the 3 seed, because they were in that four-way tie.
Yeah. I could see them being around that same area.
Number 6 spot.
I don't see Jeremy Lin. Maybe 7, but I don't see Jeremy Lin making a big difference. I don't know exactly who else is on that free agent list.
Marvin Williams is on that list. I think he could go.
All right.
Jeremy Lamb, who didn't get no burn in the postseason.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Nobody to really speak about for real.
Right. So, who you got in this series? Heat and Raptors.
Heat, man.
I'm with you, man. I got the Heat. I got the Heat in 7.
Yeah, the Heat, and I'm only giving the Raptors that much respect because when I really think about the Heat, Dwayne Wade had to save them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and that's And
in Game 7, Dwayne Wade didn't have a great game. Yeah, in Game 7.
Yeah, when you think about Dwayne Wade, when you think about the Heat's team. Justice Winslow, Young, coming along. Shout out to Dragic, who had a good game.
25 points,
who had a
game
good
7. Luol Deng has been consistent.
Luol Deng has been consistent. I just don't really believe in Luol Deng. Like,
in what sense?
In the sense of, if Dwayne Wade wasn't on this team, would they be a playoff team? Yeah,
they would be a playoff team.
But they don't have nothing.
They don't win that game 6.
They don't have anything that scares you.
Right.
If Dwayne Wade isn't there.
Sure.
So it's like, that's why I'm giving the Raptors 7 games. If they had just one more piece that scared you.
Yep.
Dragic is a good point guard, but scoring-wise, it's not like...
There'll be a couple games where he don't show up.
There'll be a lot of games where he don't show up.
Yep.
I mean, really, I don't think he really had a great series this season.
He didn't have a great series, no.
So, he turned up on Game 7... And we don't really know if it was because he decided, I need to turn up, or if it's because he had a hot game.
Right. Yeah, man.
So, I got the Heat in 7, but it's only because they don't really have anybody you're scared of. So it's like the Raptors playing the Raptors.
Pretty much. In the front, the backcourt for Toronto, athletically, I would give the big advantage to. But when it comes to closing out games, if it's a close game, D Wade gonna be there to bail you out.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
you and I are on the same page as far as that's concerned. All right, folks, that's it for the show. Just wanted to take 1 minute, Maestro. Just the fact that Mother's Day is this coming weekend, and just wanted to send a special shout out to Dr. Gail Green. She is my wonderful mother. Just wanted to thank you for giving me life and giving me encouragement and confidence in me to raise me to be the man that I am today, to raise me to be the father that I am today. And that's it. Just want to give a shout out.
Well, I definitely want to give a happy Mother's Day to my mama. I love my mama, and she is the light of my life. And I also want to give shouts out to my children's mother, who is my children's mother. And at the end of the day, that's important. She loves her kids, and all I could do is love and appreciate her for that. My sister, who's a mama, all the mamas, my stepmama, I love her to death. All the mothers out there, man.
Absolutely. And I can't forget my wife, Debbie. She is a wonderful mother to our son, Nate, and she will be to our daughter, who is coming in a couple months from now.
Yeah, so all the mothers, man. Shout out to my cousin. She just had a baby. All the mothers, man. Like, I wish this same love would be reciprocated on Father's Day, but that's not going to stop me from showing my appreciation to the mothers. I would love for somebody to come out on the podcast and just say how much they love the fathers in their lives, but fathers don't get nothing but the big piece of chicken. You know what I'm saying? But I do enjoy that big piece of chicken.
Yeah, ASAP.
But anyway, happy Mother's Day, and then once again, rest in peace to Miss Afeni Shakur.
ASAP, no doubt. Don't forget, folks, you can hit us up through email at barbershopsportstalk1@gmail.com. We also got the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast Facebook page. We also have our Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. And then Maestro is always on the Twitter handle. He's at Barbershop SPOR2. I'm Trey Fraser. He's Maestro Styles. You guys have a great week. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the Mother's Day weekend. And we'll talk at you next week.